Hey, ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. Of course, here all by my lonesome, sexiest man on all of internet wrestling radio. It's right, boom, boom, here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Going to present to you our paper review of NXT TakeOver London. So the very first question I'm going to ask you, and comments for whatever reason we can't get to work, but we do have the chat section up and running. So the question I want to ask each and every one of you is, what do you give tonight's show? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie? Or as Coco would say, do you give it a win, or do you give it a win? No, but seriously, down here in the chat room, if you can be a ninja and get the comment section going, what do you give the show? Do you give it a win, loss, or tie? Let me know. Let's keep the conversation going. I guess the first thing that the internet infantry would like to know is who won pay-per-view profits. Well, thanks to my great scoring system. Yeah, there you go. See, there's all my notes. We have a winner. The winner is, dramatic pause, here comes the drum roll. LK is going to be our winner, and it was tight. It was very tight. LK won by a single tiebreaker. He got 4 of the 5 match picks correct, and he nailed all 4 tiebreakers, giving him a grand total of 8 points. Rick, 1982. He again, like LK, he got 4 of the 5 picks correct, and but he only got 3 of the 4 tiebreakers. So LK won by a single tiebreaker. I came in third with 5 picks, and I like to thank the other gentlemen, Scullin, Patrick, Danny, Sean Heston, and everybody else who participated. It was just there was actually a pretty decent amount of competitors. I apologize for getting that pay-per-view profits up so late, but my work schedule has been foobarred this week. In fact, a lot of schedules are just off right now. I was going to try to be doing this show with Wrestling Rantin'. For whatever reason, he's having some issues, having some trouble, so maybe he'll join us a little bit later. Dave Coco, maybe if he wakes up, I think it should be a little after 6 in the morning out there in Japan, so I don't know if he's actually up right now. Well, probably is, because he never fucking sleeps. The rest of the question is his family up? If the family's not up, he's not going online, or at least he's not doing this. But if his family's up, yeah, he'll probably join us. But got the invites out. But hey, I've tried to be patient, and thank you very much for being patient. But as Queen once sang, the show must go on. So without further ado, man, let's get into this NXT TakeOver from London. I do want to say props to the London crowd. That was actually sold out, 10,079 people in attendance, a sellout. London, give yourself a Barry Horowitz. You were a absolutely amazing crowd. Our very own LK was out there live. He got maybe 4 hours sleep last night, took a 2-hour train ride into London, got to see the pre-show with the tapings, got to see the whole show live. He's probably having a pint at the pub or probably getting some sleep, some much needed sleep. So LK will be back on here within the next few days. Hopefully he'll have a nice full report. And you can always check out his dirt. Basically, he'll dish out the dirt every day on his VIP site, which is on prowrestling.me. For 50 pence a month, you can get a daily podcast. He'll lay out, he'll dish out the dirt, talk about news, rumors, his personal reviews on things. Absolutely amazing. It's worth checking out. Now, if you're wondering how much 50 pence is, I've looked it up, and it's at roughly 75 cents here American. So 50 pence if you're over in the UK, 75 cents. And this is per month, over in the US. So, but anyway, let's get this bad boy started. So if you got any questions, you got any comments, like I said, put them in the chat room, put them in the chat section. I want to give shout out to Bradley Cassidy and Kevin Eric Snell for jumping in here, and they're in the chat room right now. So hello, guys. Thank you for joining us. Keep your questions, keep your comments going. So first match out the gate here, and I'm going to show you right here, man. I took a ton of notes here. I mean, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 pages of notes here. I got a reporter's notebook here. So I'm going to run everything down here. Opener, Asuka versus Emma. I think this was an absolutely amazing opener. The whole mood was set. You start out with Triple H there in the ring. It's like you wanted, London, you wanted NXT. Well, here it is. Here it is. It was like something out of a rock concert. The only drawback, I think, and this was like a minor complaint about this, because when the show hits, you hear Asuka's music hit. Everybody's going crazy. It's great. She comes out. You got the long robe. You got the mask. It looks absolutely amazing. My complaint of not, and this has nothing to do with Asuka, by the way, is just the whole look. The arena was extremely dark. I don't know if they don't have the proper lighting in there. I don't know if it looked as dark in the arena as it did on TV, but when I was watching the live stream, it was extremely dark. It looked like something out of an indie event, and I don't think that it helped that they had essentially a black canvas and a black ring apron with dark gray or silver ropes. I really wish WWE would have switched to like a lighter color, like a white or a light blue mat, just to kind of, because when you had, competitors in there wearing black, I mean, it was a little difficult to see, but like I said, that's minor nitpicky things. Anyway, on to the match. Evil Emma comes out with Dana Brooke, and let's see. I loved it that these two started filling each other out. It was a very technical match. They were working submission holds. Emma took the control early. Asuka made the comeback, which drew a good "This is Wrestling" chant from the London crowd. By the way, I'm going to talk a lot about the chants that the London crowd started. So, London crowd, you're absolutely fucking amazing. So, Full Sail University, I still love you. LK doesn't, but I do. I still love you, Full Sail. You should take some notes, get you a notebook here, get you a pen, and take some notes from the London crowd because they kept it fresh. They knew when to stop. They weren't, trying to do things at the expense of wrestlers. And hey, don't get me wrong, Full Sail crowd. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Just be, just take a note from the London crowd because they were doing it right. So give yourself a Barry Horowitz. There's a lot of vicious kicks and especially that backhand from Asuka. Emma made a comeback, hitting the Emma-mite sandwich. There was a great spot in that match where Asuka locked in an ankle lock, which turned that into a German suplex and a vicious kick to the jaw. There was a spot where the referee did a bump. Then in came Dana Brooke. She took off her belt, threw it in. Asuka wrestled away. The referee's coming to, and the whole crowd was just like, I was losing my mind. The crowd was fucking getting restless because we're like, no, this better not be the referee. Sees a foreign object in the ring, automatically calls for the disqualification. The whole crowd was chanting, no, 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 which I think was brilliantly done. One thing I like about NXT is they take all the shit that we've been shoveled with Raw and on the main roster, and they completely turn that on its ear. They take, stuff that makes us fucking roll our goddamn eyes, and they kind of use that to make some good stuff. But the referee, to his credit, kept the match going. Dana Brooke jumped up on the apron, tried to interfere. This led to a roll up. Emma also tried to use the belt. The belt again as a foreign object. She walked right into just a vicious kick to the head. Drops her like a rock. Asuka gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely amazing match. There was somebody I was like online. This guy said he was feeling guilty. He was like, well, I think that they had the match of the night. Is that right? And I'm like, dude, don't feel bad about that. I think it was a very good match. I think it just shows the direction that NXT and WWE's taking the women. Now they're going to be ruined on the main roster. When you got 3/4 of the 4 horsewomen looking absolutely horrible. You know, it just shows just their lack of direction up there. But down in NXT, I mean, it's phenomenal. You know, there's some more stuff with the women going to be coming up a little bit later. But I loved it. I think it was a great match. The crowd was into it. Um, Dana Brooke did good interference with it, and the reason I said it was good interference is because it kept everything interesting. Like, oh God, they're going to have Emma steal a win here, and you know we're just so used to fuck finishes with WWE. You know they actually use that formula to kind of fake out the crowd. You know, it's pay attention to the left hand, don't look at what the right hand's doing. They did that, and I just think it was absolutely beautiful done. But tell me what you guys thought about it. Bradley Cassidy, he says that he thought the match was amazing. Rick 1982, by the way, thank you for joining us. He says NXT TakeOver London was an amazing show from top to bottom. The UK crowd was very passionate about the wrestling and showed it tonight. Yes, they did. So God bless you, London. Rick 1982 also agrees it was a great opening match. So, you know, good job there overall by WWE. Next, we go to a title match here. We have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. Dash and Dawson versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. The crowd was absolutely eating up Amore and Cassidy. They were kind of playing they were trying to play the hometown heroes. Amore was wearing like these leather coveralls, and when you pull down the straps, it had like the Union Jack right there on the inside flap. Big Cass, instead of having the skyline of New York, he had the London Bridge on his tights. So they were trying to play to the hometown crowd, and it was actually kind of a funny spot because when they do after they did, my name is Enzo Amore. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel because I want to kind of get through this review in a timely manner. It was actually kind of funny. He goes, if I had a pound, and he had a hard time finding the pound that he had in his jacket pocket. About every time that we got beat down and stayed down, we'd have 0 pounds. I don't know. I just got a kick out of that. But anyway, then out come the tag team champions, Dash and Dawson. This match started out quite well. The challengers came out very aggressive out of the gate, obviously selling that anger that they sold in the Go Home show, that they're angry, that they try to take them both out, particularly Big Cass. And by the way, speaking of Cass, man, again, London, give yourself a Barry Horowitz. I love the na, 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 na. Na 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 na, Big Cass. I mean, come on, that London, you're awesome. I love the Brits. No wonder my grandfather fought alongside your countrymen in World War II. You guys are awesome. Let's see. There was like a one minor botch spot. It was I think they were trying to toss where I think it was Big Cass picked up Dash Wilder, and Dawson. Dash, and Scott Dawson was like right there, but like, oh crap, back off because he's got to catch his partner. It was like a minor botch, but nothing too seriously. Anyway, both the champions go to the outside. Big Cass throws Enzo Amore, his tag team partner, onto the champions. Then the champions start getting an advantage. They start working on Enzo Amore, start working on his left shoulder, have him isolated. And I think it was overall this match had a lot of good ring psychology. You really wouldn't expect that from these two, at least not in tag team wrestling today. But with NXT, it's just the fundamentals. I mean, it's just little bitty things like, okay, you hurt his shoulder, he's not going to be able really to move it as much. And they kept saying, like, they acted like, okay, if I hurt your shoulder in real life, what are you not going to be able to do? And that's what they did. And, they kept moving like that. And it's just these little bitty things that they do. I mean, these guys can work such great matches. But when they go up to the main roster, yes, I'm going to continue to bury the fucking main roster because, they had a somewhat decent show on Monday, and I'm not going to waste my time talking about it. They had a somewhat let's forgive everything that they fucking done this year. No, WWE, it doesn't work that way. You fuck me over just because you bring me flowers the next day and go, oh, boom, boom, we're really sorry for sucking. Well, you know what? You got to have a lot of ground you have to fucking make up with me, motherfucker. So, anyway. But it was just little bitty things, good ring psychology. I mean, this was old-fashioned, hard-nosed, in-your-face, ground and pound wrestling. So I love the psychology. Um, I like the double team. I didn't see the the referee they had a good spot in there where the bad normally you always see it where the good guys are trying to make the hot tag, and then the partners want to come in and help his the guys want to come in and help his partner. The referee has to get in between them, allows the bad guys to double team. Well, they had just the opposite. Dash and Dawson didn't make a tag, and they were going for a pin. The referee said, "No, I didn't see the tag," and then immediately I don't know if that was a botch. I don't know if that was scripted, but it worked out so well because you see Dash get the hell out of the ring and Scott Dawson jump in and get right back on top of Amori. And I just, if that was an accident, I mean, you talk about, making the best, trying to recover, make the best of a bad situation. I thought that spot was absolutely amazing. Anyway, Amori got the hot tag to Big Cass. But however, that momentum was short-lived. Dash hit a chop block on Big Cass, then locked in a variation of the calf killer, trying to go for a submission. They went for a roll up. It was no good. Eventually, the challengers started to get the upper hand. They hit the rocket launcher on Dash Wilder. The referee was about to come down for the third when Scott Dawson yanked the referee out. This led to a scuffle to the outside. They go to the top, and Enzo Amore is hit with a shatter machine from the top rope. Just, dude, that looked fucking cool. I don't care who you are. That looked goddamn cool. Just the shatter machine from the fucking top. Enough for the win. I'm going to say this. These two tag teams have really come along. I mean, this year has just been their year. Dash and Dawson have really come out as a force to be reckoned with. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy have made some progress, and I'm just going to say it right now. I think this was the best tag team match that both of these teams have had this year. I think they went out in 2015 with a highlight. I mean, it just shows how far they've come along. That's the best match these two teams have wrestled, bar none. So, but let me know what you thought about it here. In fact, good Lord, you guys are absolutely blowing up the chat. I'm going to try to get to everything, so forgive me here because the window keeps scrolling. So please keep your comments coming. Please keep your questions coming. Hopefully, maybe Wrestling Rant will come in here to relieve me. Maybe Dave Coco once he wakes up. Okay, can't, but hey, I can handle everything. So let's just get down to it. Let's see. Mike Ashman, he's joining us now. So welcome to the show, sir. He says, this was Enzo and Cass time to win the gold. Hopefully they get a huge win for Mania TakeOver in Dallas. If it was me booking it, Mikey, I would actually I think the money match, in my opinion, and I've said this before over the past couple of weeks, I think the money match is the champions Dash and Dawson versus Jason Jordan, Chad Gable. If I'm booking, I'm keeping these two tag teams apart for right now. I'm going to keep them apart and make them, maybe they can trade some barbs verbally here and there, but I'm going to keep them apart because I don't want them to actually touch each other until that Mania TakeOver. And I think that's when I would change. That's when I would do a title swap. I would have Dash and Dawson go through everybody except for Jordan and Gable. Keep those two apart. Have everybody just at a fever pitch, ready to see these two teams fight. Have them meet up at the TakeOver before Mania and have the tag team titles change hands. That's what I would do. But what would you guys do? Rick 1982. WWE continues to put on great pay-per-views on the WWE Network, and I can't wait for their next one. Yeah, I think all four of them. I think they've only had, 4 this year? Yeah, I believe I think this is the 4th one. And they had the one this spring. They had TakeOver in Brooklyn. They had Respect. And then now they've had London. Yeah, so they've had 4, and I think all 4 of them have been home runs. They've been absolutely phenomenal, for lack of a better word. Kevin Eric Snell, wherever road agents work with NXT or the artiste, they know how to hide everybody's weaknesses. Nia Jax, case in point. Well, It's funny you should mention that because that is the next match here. It was for the NXT. Actually, no, I need to pump my brakes here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Actually, the next match was Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Okay, I'm just going to say it. They all can't be award winners. I was not high on this match. So, guys, let me know what you thought about it. Rick 1982 thought they had a very good match. I'm going to disagree respectfully. If you like it, you genuinely like it, that's fine. That's your opinion. This is just my opinion. But I was not so high on that match, and I'll explain why. This was the one that I think fooled a lot of people. This is the one, like when we did pay-per-view profits. This, with the exception of LK, I think everybody went with Apollo Crews. I thought they were going to kind of keep him going and build him up because they were kind of teasing him versus Finn Bálor for the NXT Championship. And I thought, well, for that to happen, I mean, he's going to have to win. But no, it just it didn't happen. Okay. So they bring them both out. The crowd absolutely just shitting on Corbin. In fact, they were chanting something about shit at him. So if anybody was there or could actually understand the London crowd, just where I was sitting on my couch watching this, I really couldn't make out what they were saying. So if anybody knows what they were talking about or what they were chanting, please type it in the chat room and let me know. But anyway, Baron Corbin took the early control, and that was just really the theme of the match. You could tell that Apollo Crews was really working around Baron Corbin. In fact, Crews did everything short of literally holding Corbin's hand and going, "Okay, big guy, we're going to do a match here. Okay, now I need you to body slam me. I need you to stay in the middle of the ring. Okay, now throw me to the outside. Okay, now I'm going to sell for you, and I'm going to come back in here. Okay, now you need to sell for me a little bit. Let me make a comeback." He carried that fucking match. I mean, that match took, just effing forever. In fact, let me see how long it was. Third match. That match went almost 12 minutes, and it was just kind of painful because you could tell that Crews was holding back because, he was trying to wrestle down, trying to cover up Corbin's weaknesses. And normally this wouldn't bother me, but and I know that you shouldn't believe everything that you see on TV, especially like with these reality shows and stuff with WWE. But as I said like the other night with LK, just Baron Corbin just rubs me the wrong way. I just think if you're going to be cocky, at least be good about it. And it just bothers me that WWE sees him as a big star. They're going to push him. They're going to bring him up to them. Their talks right now bringing him up to the main roster, which is fine. But it's just one of those. I believe if he wasn't over 6 feet tall, if he wasn't an NFL washout, and Vince McMahon couldn't masturbate to his picture, then he wouldn't be. I don't know if he would even be on TV. I know he sure as hell wouldn't be getting the push he was getting. And again, maybe I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. But they slowed down. The match was really slow. You had Corbin playing like this monster heel. He mainly stayed in the center of the ring because he's improved. I will say that. It's not like I'm going to completely just shit on Corbin, but he has made progress. I just don't think he's at the right level yet. But then again, that's why he's there at NXT, is to learn. But he's going to be one hell of a project. I did like the spot where Apollo Crews reversed out of the end of days and slammed down Corbin and hit him with the standing moonsault. But eventually Corbin hits the end of days for real, gets the pin, gets the win, gives Apollo Crews his first ever loss. So overall, I think I do want to give props to Apollo Crews for finding a way to work with his opponent. I want to give props to NXT for booking Baron Corbin and setting up a type of match that hides his weaknesses and pushes his strengths. I do want to kind of – I kept saying, you need to have Corbin wrestle these longer matches. So, yeah, he did that, and he held his own. I think that for as far as single matches goes, that was probably the best that Corbin's done. He wasn't completely blown up after 5 minutes. So again, I'm going to say I think that's Baron Corbin's best singles match to date. So let me know what you thought. Kevin Eric Snell says, I don't know. Corbin's not a 100% natural heel. I beg to differ, sir. I beg to differ. He could be a loner rebel babyface maybe, but everyone knew Cruz was the better man here. Absolutely. The Bradley Cassidy, the Foons actually take two. Let's pretend that made sense. The fans booed and actually hated Corbin. I also want to say hello to Hernan Alvarez, who's now joined us. So hello, good sir. Good to see you here. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to keep on topic here. I'm trying to get through. This isn't like the comments where everything stays stationary. I have to flip through a lot of stuff. So keep your stuff coming in. Let's see. Yeah, I think so far I'm actually caught up. So no, but keep your comments. Also want to say CS Fitzy. CS Fitzy. I think he's got some clarification. Pretty sure they were saying you're shit and you know you are. I think that's maybe it's pretty close. I don't know. I'll have to ask LK, but I want to know if anybody was knowing what he was saying. All right, moving on here, we get to we're past the halfway point here, so we get to the main event. I mean, this was only a 2-hour. This was only a 2-hour event, but that first hour was fucking phenomenal. Even I think they did a good job putting the Corbin Cruz match, because I think that was the weakest one, but they hit that right in the middle. They started out strong. They had a couple of good strong matches. They put this kind of weak match in the middle, but they kept it going. They also did another little tease here. They were doing a backstage interview with Nia Jax, and then off camera she looks over and there's Asuka standing there, so teasing maybe a little confrontation between Asuka and Nia Jax. I like that. I kind of like the idea of this striker taking on this monster heel. I like that, and plus I think it's going to be a good program for Nia Jax to be in, somebody to work with a veteran like Kana. To see how things are going to go with that. I think that was just wonderfully done. Again, WWE, pay attention to NXT, just little bitty details. I mean, they didn't have to do like this big blowout. It was just, hey, okay, I'm going to go beat up the champion. I'm going to take her title. And who the hell are you? What are you staring at me for? Oh, I'll get you later as soon as I take care of business. That was, great little details. It's what I love. Next, we get to the NXT Women's Championship. You have Nia Jax versus Boom Boom proudly presents Bayley. Thank you very much. I'm on Team Bayley. I've made no secrets about it. But anyway, it's for the Women's Championship now. Nia Jax came out without Ava Marie, so I'm like, hey, things are looking up already. Again, I want to tell the NXT crowd, give yourself another Barry Horowitz, because you had because I love the chant, hey, hey, Bayley, ooh, I want to know if you'd be my girl. Sorry, I apologize for saying it. I'm not allowed to, but I did anyway. Did it for you, Infantry. Oh, and hello to Trey Parker. I don't know if he's the Trey Parker, but hello to Trey Parker for joining us live here in the chat room. So it was just one of those matches. It was, okay, you got the champion. Yeah, we know she's faster. We know she's got the experience, but she's taking on this huge monster, monster heel. Can she, slay this dragon, so to speak? So Jax started ragdolling Bayley around in almost a chokehold. Every time that Bayley would make a comeback, Jax would shut it down. The champ went for some flying elbows, went to the top rope multiple times. This kick out sent the champion to the outside. Then that's when Nia Jax took over, hit her with 2 Samoan drops, a leg drop, got a kick out at 2 with, thanks to a lackluster pin with the foot on the chest. Then Nia Jax went to an arm breaker like maneuver, 3 leg drops. Again, went for another mediocre cover. The champion kicked out. Bayley, in almost just a fit of desperation, locked in a guillotine. She was slammed down. Nia Jax was coming back in, locked her in the guillotine choke again. This went to the top. They went all the way back down. Then she had Nia Jax in a sitting position. Bayley locked in the guillotine, wrenched all the way back, was screaming tap, and eventually Nia Jax tapped out. So your winner and still NXT Women's Champion, Boom Boom, proudly presents Bayley. Oh, let's see here. I know I like the match. I like the fact that the champion had to find a different way to overcome this adversity. She couldn't hit the Bayley to belly, so she didn't even try. She tried a different submission maneuver. It worked. And, you know, there was like if you look on YouTube, like they did like this post-match interview. She really put over Nia Jax, saying it was one of the toughest matches she's ever had, and it was just complete. Just you know, it was. She knew it was going to be tough, but it didn't know how just tough it was going to be. It was good. I mean, it was. I think it was a great match. Now there were some people complaining online. They're like, "Oh no, Bayley's the John Cena." I'm like, "No, no, 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 Mr. Anonymous person on the internet. No, you're wrong." The reason why Bayley kicked out of those finishing maneuvers, you know, the Samoan drops and the leg drops, which normally is because Nia Jax didn't go for a proper cover. I mean, if you're somewhat still semi-conscious, you know, if someone just puts their boot on you, I mean, all you got to do is just this. There you go. It doesn't require that much effort. And when she did that twice, and it was one of those. The arrogance of the challenger is what ultimately did her in, and the only thing that saved the champion is was the veterans' experience. So but you know, guys, let me know what you think. Let's see here. I'm going to try to get to everybody. Kevin Eric Snell says, whatever road agents work with NXT or artists, they know how to hide everybody's weaknesses. Nia Jax, case in point. Absolutely agree. Written in 1982, Bayley versus Nia Jax for the NXT Women's Championship was surprisingly a very good match, and the main event was awesome. Wholeheartedly agree. It was definitely better than what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know what to expect, especially out of Nia Jax. But I think she did a good job for doing, for her character. I think it works. I think the champion did a great job working around it, and they did some stuff that was realistic. Yeah, they had her sell like the damage, and they had her do. You know, had to go back to the well, had to pull out a maneuver she really wasn't using a lot before, but it made sense to use the guillotine, choke the big guy, choke the monster down, just keep choking the life out of her. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Kevin Eric still wants to see my T-shirt, so here we go. It's just yeah, there you go. See, I have some like funny novelty shirts, so that's what I'm doing here. Let's see. Trey Parker says, "Hi, Boom Boom. Love you very much. Love you too." Well, thank you. He says, "You guys need to do a second review with you, Dave, and LK since LK was at the live event." You know, we're actually planning on doing something like that. I've already told LK whether or not I'm involved with it or not. I try to work a lot of these reviews around my work schedule, which is kind of crazy. I was off today, so which is why I'm up and doing this stuff right now. I was able to do it. But yeah, we're hoping to get something going. Let's see, we got Amber's Rocks, AMBERSROXS. Subscribe to me, please. So, well, okay, you heard the person. Go ahead and subscribe to them. Check them out, I guess. I'll plug them if you ask nicely. So you asked nicely, you said please. So I'm just going to say it's Amber's Rocks. Go ahead and subscribe to that person. I don't know what they do, what their show is, but they've asked nicely, so there you go. Have it. KocoSports notification for this live event review. I posted it here, but probably be dinged for spamming. So, oh, thank you to Kevin XL. He retweeted us or reposted. So, congrats. Oh, thank you very much. Bradley Cassidy writes, notice something about this versus Raw. The fans are actually having fun. Well, no shit. Ugh. Okay, then I got spammed by MGSG with a bunch of emojis. So, well, thank you. And anyway, let's see. Lennox Watterson, I thought the show was awesome. The only real problems would be the nitpicking, but a ton of talent wasn't on the show, and some of the matches were a little too long. You know, I agree. They did have a lot of talent there. They did a taping, kind of like, what they did for NXT Brooklyn. They had like a whole hour worth of tapings beforehand, which we're going to see next week. We'll see the return of Sami Zayn. I believe Elias Sampson. They re-debuted the Drifter character. I know we'll get to see that. We'll get to see that soon. So we'll get to see that. But as far as the actual main event or the whole main show, I agree with you. I especially think the Corbin. I think the Corbin Cruz match was too long. I either wish they would have done one of two things. Like they should have shortened that match and either put in like an impromptu match, just like some kind of bonus match as a big, nod and a wink to the crowd, or made the championship match a little bit longer. Because I think, because I'm just going to go ahead and go into it, the NXT Championship match, I think that match was, in my opinion, it felt short. If I've got my timing correctly, that thing went just over 18 minutes. And now it didn't feel that long. I like the way that they worked that match, but I really feel like that could have gone longer. But anyway, they brought out the champion. I loved Finn Balor's Jack the Ripper gear. This brought out a "This is awesome" chant. Crowd was split 50-50. Balor took early control. They went to the outside. Remember, he missed that coup de grace on the outside on the steps. Samoa Joe took over control. He would kill Balor's momentum every chance he got. I particularly like the spot where he did the power bomb. Then went from a power bomb into a Boston Crab. Then when you thought Balor was about to get out of it, he switched over to a crossface. Joe was just flying all over that ring, particularly hitting the enziguri on the top rope. Finn, eventually started firing up. He hit the splash on the outside, started doing the boots to the neck. This got a 2 count, hit a sling blade. You see that Joe was going for a muscle buster. That was Finn Balor squirmed out of that. It quickly turned into a slugfest. Joe, I thought he was about to end it when he got in a Koji clutch. But Finn Balor was able to reach the ropes, but he went right back to the choke. Did that reverse double stomp to the back of the head. Hit the sling blade, hit 3 drop kicks. They looked like they were going to go for a muscle buster, at least from the top, and that would have ended it, but no. Finn Balor managed to push Samoa Joe down to the mat, hit the coup de grace, went for the pin. 1, 2, 3. The champion retains in London. The Demon stands tall. Samoa Joe backing out, got with some assistance, had a little bit of blood coming down his mouth. And Finn Balor was selling the beating, acting a little loopy. Or at least I hope he was acting, because he took a little bit of a hammering in that match. But overall, I think it was a fantastic match. I really think the main roster could learn a lot from that. You had these 2 guys that could go, and they just cut them loose. The crowd was absolutely eating it up. They loved. There was champion. It was a championship caliber match. Absolutely a lot of fun. Overall, I'm going to give it a win. This was just, I really wish it would have been longer. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but, in a days where I can't get, past these 3-hour Raws, these 3-hour pay-per-views, there's like this NXT event that sells out in London, and only 12 people can have you right here. And I know this is an analogy I make all the time, but if you're a performer, this is where you want your audience. And 12 people managed to put everybody right here in the palm of their hand. And they took them on a journey. The crowd absolutely ate it up and left us. We wanted more. Kevin Eric Snell, he beat me to the punch. He says, only 5 matches, leave them wanting more, I guess. That's a sign of a good event. When you have people like me saying, no, I wish that match was longer, that's a good sign. If you have me going, man, I wish this event was longer, that's good. I want more. I want to see more. And I want to see more out of NXT in 2016. So my cap's off to NXT for doing this. I think it was a great match. Now, Cameron Eric Snell, he says, Billy from A&E Podcast didn't like the Jack the Ripper thing, but the crowd seemed to dig it. I guess maybe I could understand why. I guess maybe it'd be a little bit different if it was like Progress Wrestling comes over here to the United States and they want to do like this edgy, promo. So they have like a silhouette of a guy with the AR-15, shooting at the screen. Okay, maybe I can understand. It's just LK wasn't a huge fan of it either. So, but I'll kind of stay out of that. If you were, I don't think in this PC age that we live in, I don't think it was politically correct. But I wasn't offended by it. I think it bothered LK a little bit, but overall, I guess in the live, for the most part, the live crowd didn't seem to mind too much. So overall, it was good. Let's see here. Now I'm going to start going back through the comments here. Kevin XL, there were some dark matches, one with Jordan and Gable. Did those make the network? Actually, Kevin, you're going to see those next week. There's actually a four-way. It's going to be Jordan and Gable, the Vaudevillains, Blake and Murphy, and the Hype Bros. It was a four-way tag team elimination match. That's going to be on the net. That's going to be on NXT next week because they recorded it for TV, so you'll see it next week. As I mentioned, the return of Sami Zayn, the Elias Sampson character, gets a re-debut. I think there's a few more matches that are coming out, but you'll be able to see that. Lennox Waterson, could we have LK bring a list of all the chants? Yeah, I guess we could. Let me go through the comments. I'm trying to get through stuff that I haven't read here. Let's see. Amber's Rocks says knickers. Well, I guess I've got pants on. Let's see here. Again, I'm going through the comments. Humble amongst yourselves right now. I've actually tried to avoid the spoilers. So if anybody out there knows any of the spoilers, please don't give them away. Speaking of spoilers, don't give away the spoilers to Star Wars either. I know me and my wife are going to go try to catch that flick a little bit later this week, and people are like, I know they were going to wait till like Wednesday, which is today, at least when I'm filming this, to avoid like spoilers or anything leaking. I'm like, anytime anybody starts talking anything about The Force Awakens, I close my eyes, I put my fingers on my ears, I'm like, oh, Oklahoma, where the wind goes, sweeping down the plane, because I don't want to hear any fucking spoilers. I don't want to hear any of that shit. So no spoilers. If you give away spoilers, I shall lash you 1,000 times with a wet noodle. Let's see here. CTC Gaming, I think he wrote, because it ain't Vince with NXT, that NXT shoots the show like a month at a time, so they got him thinking long term and have them keep the belts till they get called up. And I think he's talking about the champions here, then have them win the tag team belts to put over NXT. Kevin Eric Snell, Jordan and Gable are awesome. I dread the day these two get called up and ruined. Yeah, I got the feeling that Gable's going to get the worst of that one if they get called up. If you actually think about it, I don't think anybody who has held the tag team titles in NXT that have been called up have actually won the tag team championships over on Raw. Let's see here again. Let's see. Nope. No, I think I've got all the older ones. Oh, Kevin Eric still saying black is cooler. I guess that's what he was referring to when we did the when we were talking about the Kevin Eric still spoilers George Washington. Oh wow, that is fucking hilarious. All right, guys. So get your last minute questions in. I think I'm about to wrap this bad boy up. I wish I could give you a little bit more here, but we've kind of zipped through this, and you guys have actually been great here. So let's see. Time for shameless self-promotion. First, I got to promote the mothership, and that is KocoSports.com, KOCOSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got it covered there on the site. Also, check out our popular video on demand section. It's updated daily and it's all absolutely positively 100% free. And then I also want to persuade everybody, if you haven't done this so far, go to prowrestling.me and that's not a .com, you heard correctly, prowrestling.me, and go sign up for that. It's basically, it's the Facebook page for wrestling fans. We've got links to news, blogs, our podcast, videos, photos. You can buy our t-shirts there. You can find the direct link to LK's VIP site. Like I said, only 50 pence a month. You can sign up for it there. You can find, we've got all kinds of active stuff going there. We've got blogs. I know I've posted several on there. I know Zachary Watts has posted a few blogs on there. LK's got updates on the ratings for Raw. He's a big stickler about that. We've got links to the podcast. So if you happen to miss anything, you just go. You can jump on the site there. Go with it. We've also got links to Twitter pages for a ton of professional wrestlers. It's definitely worth checking out again, and that's all 100% free. We're trying to look for founding members right now because right now we're doing a soft launch open to the members of the Internet Infantry right now. We're trying to build up a good community because when we do a hard launch in 2016, we want to make sure that there's enough traffic to kind of keep people coming and going in. And also, guys, I want you to start thinking about, our year-end awards. That's going to be part of my blog coming up a little bit. Right now, I'm on the fence about a few things, so I'm going to post a blog here coming up in the next few days about our year-end awards. We do it at the end of the. It's going to be me, Coco, and LK. We're going to present what we call the Triforce. All three of us have, a piece of the Triforce, and we're going to go through things like Wrestle of the Year, Match of the Year, Pay-Per-View of the Year, Company of the Year, Best, Feud of the Year, Dumbest Storyline of the Year, just all these different things. And I'm going to put a blog up about it, and I want you guys to comment on it, but you have to sign up to do it. To kind of tell me what you guys are thinking, and that could influence our votes coming up a little bit in the next couple of weeks. We're going to do that before we get before the end of 2015. So we've got that coming up. So be sure to keep tuned on there. Well, and let's see. Let me refresh here. Look for any new comments. No, nothing else new. So that's going to do it for me. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here. Be sure to check us out live. We're going to have another show probably with OK and Coco pretty soon. Maybe I can jump in on there. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here, all the viewers here. And be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And that's going to do it for me. So this is Boom Boom for LK and my partner, Dave Coco. I am over.